Have you ever wondered how goods and ideas were exchanged before modern transportation? Let's take a journey back in time to the ancient Han Dynasty in China. This was a time when the Silk Road, a network of trade routes, began to take shape. The name Silk Road might make you think it was solely about silk, but it's a lot more complex and fascinating than that. The Silk Road started during the Han Dynasty, around 200 years before the Common Era. It all began with the trade of a precious commodity, silk. Known for its softness, luster, and high demand, silk became a symbol of wealth and status, sought after by many across the world. But how did this luxurious fabric travel from the looms of ancient China to the bustling markets of Rome, you ask? That's where the Silk Road comes into play. The Silk Road was not just one, but an intricate network of routes. Imagine a vast spider web with strands extending in all directions. The eastern route started from the ancient Chinese capital, Chang'an, meandering through the Hexi Corridor and stretching towards the Central Asian territories. The central route further branched out to connect the Mediterranean regions. The southern route, often referred to as the Sea Silk Road, facilitated maritime trade, while the western route extended towards the Roman Empire. The Silk Road was more than just a pathway for silk. It carried a plethora of other commodities, including spices, precious metals, and gemstones, fostering economic growth and cultural exchange. As the Silk Road expanded, so did the variety of goods it carried. What started as a simple silk trade route soon transformed into a bustling network of roads, carrying not just goods but also ideas, culture, and innovations connecting the East with the West. And so, the Silk Road began as a simple trade route and quickly grew into a complex network connecting diverse civilizations. Silk was the star of the show, but the Silk Road had much more to offer. Beyond the lustrous threads, a myriad of other commodities made their way along this ancient highway of trade. Spices, for instance, with their intoxicating scents and flavors, were a hot commodity, journeying from the spice-rich lands of the East to the eager markets of the West. Precious metals and gemstones also found their way into the trade network, glittering tokens of wealth that captivated traders and consumers alike. Gold from Rome, silver from Persia, and jade from China were among the treasures that crisscrossed this expansive route. But the Silk Road didn't just facilitate the exchange of goods. It was instrumental in fostering economic growth and cultural interaction between civilizations. Ideas, philosophies, and knowledge were traded alongside material goods, making the Silk Road a melting pot of cultural exchange. The Silk Road was more than a trade route, it was a conduit for cultural exchange. The Silk Road wasn't just about trading goods, it was also about trading ideas. This bustling superhighway of the ancient world was a conduit for cultural exchange, a kaleidoscope of religions, arts, technologies, and ideas, with the power to shape civilizations. Religions, particularly Buddhism and Islam, found fertile ground along the Silk Road. Buddhism, born in India, spread eastwards into China and beyond, carried by monks and merchants. Its teachings, art, and architecture left indelible marks on the cultures it touched. Meanwhile, Islam, emerging from the Arabian Peninsula, spread both east and west, its influence permeating all aspects of life, from the arts to science to governance. But the Silk Road was not just a spiritual highway, it was also a vibrant canvas for the arts. Artistic styles and techniques were shared and blended, creating a unique fusion of East and West. Chinese silk embroidery, Persian miniature painting, and Byzantine mosaics are but a few examples of this artistic melting pot. Beyond religion and art, the Silk Road was a conduit for technological and scientific ideas. Take, for instance, papermaking and printing. These groundbreaking inventions, born in China, spread along the Silk Road, revolutionizing how knowledge was stored and shared. This exchange of technology powered progress, fueling the development of vibrant trading cities. These bustling metropolises, from Chang'an in China to Constantinople in the West, became hubs of innovation, fostering a dynamic interplay of cultures. So, as we journey down the Silk Road, we find it was much more than a trade route. It was a network of ideas, a catalyst for cultural evolution. It was a place where East met West, where disparate cultures, religions, and ideas intermingled and grew. It was, in many ways, the world's first globalizer. The Silk Road was a melting pot of cultures, religions, and ideas, shaping the world in ways that still echo today. So as we walk in the footsteps of ancient traders, let's remember the Silk Road's rich legacy of cultural exchange and its enduring impact on our world. All good things must come to an end, and the Silk Road was no exception. The decline of this once bustling network of trade routes was not a sudden event, but a gradual process influenced by a myriad of factors. One of the key contributors was the fall of the Mongol Empire in the late 13th century. This empire had been a major force in unifying the diverse regions along the Silk Road, providing security and stability that facilitated trade. But as the empire crumbled, so did the safety and order it had brought, making travel and trade increasingly risky and difficult. Meanwhile, the rise of maritime trade routes began to overshadow the overland Silk Road. Imagine the 15th century, when European explorers like Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama began venturing into the oceans. These sea voyages opened up new, more efficient pathways for trade, effectively redirecting the flow of goods away from the Silk Road. But even as the Silk Road faded into obscurity, it left behind a legacy that continues to resonate today. Its role in shaping the shared cultural heritage of Eurasia is undeniable. It was a conduit for the exchange of ideas, arts, religions, and technologies between East and West, helping to shape the diverse tapestry of cultures we see across the region today. Moreover, the Silk Road set the stage for the global interconnectedness we experience in the modern world. It was a precursor to our global economy, demonstrating the potential of long-distance trade and cultural exchange. It showed us that our world is not a collection of isolated societies, but a network of interconnected civilizations, each influencing and being influenced by the others. Though the Silk Road may have faded into history, its legacy lives on in the cultures, economies, and technologies we see today. So, as we navigate our increasingly interconnected world, let's remember the Silk Road, a testament to our shared history and the enduring power of exchange and connection.